What's up, guys? It's Ripley Sartain from Wisconsin Water Garden. Recently, I've got a lot of comments about this cactus planter that we have behind me. So in today's video, I'm going to show you all about that. Stay tuned. So right here is our main cactus planter that we have in the garden. We have a couple of cholla cactuses, some opuntias, old lady cactus, sansevieria, and as well as some other succulent varieties right here. The question that we've been getting is it possible to grow cactus and succulents in the same planter? Whether it be a couple of different varieties of cactus or succulents together, do these need to be in separate planters? Because most people do not grow these all together. Instead, they grow them in separate pots. So right here you can see we have the sansevieria, the aloe vera, the old lady cactus, the cholla, and opuntia cactus, or this is the beaver tail cactus. This one right there in the background here, beaver tail. Of course, you guys all know that's an aloe vera. And then a couple of different succulents right there, and then back over on this side. As you can see, you do not have to grow them in separate containers. We've been growing these for nearly a year now in this single one, and I'm going to tell you about how to water them, how to care for them, and how to grow them as a complete ecosystem together, unlike what most people do. So the biggest question that we have is, how do we make sure that they're all watered properly and accordingly to their requirements? I'm going to start off with this. It's almost nonsensical to me, but so it can help you guys out. We have a large aloe vera right here and a bunch of sansevieria here. These two plants, out of all of the rest, the cholla, the old lady, this one's unnamed. I have this on one of my very first cactus propagation videos, but I'm not sure what variety that is. I don't know the name of that, but that one and the succulents we have in there, they're going to require less water than the sansevieria and the aloe vera. So what I do when I water this, I water it once every 2 weeks. Depending on where you are, you might have different conditions. Just put your knuckle down into the soil, and if you don't find humidity or wetness up to your first, second, and almost to your third, usually about your second, if you don't feel any moisture or humidity in there in that soil, it is time to water. So when doing that, say it's time to water. What am I going to do next? I'm going to take my pitcher of water. For a planter about this size, it's very, very deep. I have about 8 inches of soil underneath the cactus and succulents here in this one. I will water this planter with about a half a gallon of water every 2 weeks. But when I pour that water down, I pour it onto the aloe vera and the sansevieria. So most of the humidity and the water gets down to the roots of these plants. Everything else spreads throughout the soil and feeds our old lady cactus, our cholla cactus, and our opuntia, and this unknown variety here. So that is how I make sure that all of them get watered accordingly, because most of the water is concentrated on the larger plants. Gardening is foolproof in some ways, but very, very tricky in others, and this is one way where you have to tap into your nature, tap into your instincts that God has given you to provide these plants. Obviously, we know that these two plants right here require more water. Even though they're in the same planters as these other larger varieties, the smaller ones will still receive the required watering amounts. So all in all, understand that plants and cactus and succulents, and no matter what you're growing, they are meant to be grown along one another. They are meant to be grown beside each other, just as we are as human beings. So take that as a life lessoning and gardening note. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have loved this video. These things they've blossomed and grown like I have not expected, just like everything else. This aloe vera is absolutely beautiful. When we bought it, it was only this tall. It's doubled in size and it's just gorgeous. The same thing with the sansevieria and all of the other cacti. So understand, everybody, if you stick to the standard morals of this God-given earth, your plants will grow and flourish as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for our next video. Take care.